Hello everybody, this is Dev here with Rogue Deck Chronicles, and today I want to showcase a very interesting archetype that you see on the screen here. It is Mega Diancie Ghosts. So it's an interesting archetype that I saw do well on an online tournament, and honestly, after doing some testing and playing on the ladder a little bit, it's fun. Like, I'll be honest, it's fun, it's different. It forces you to kind of think. If you don't like, if you just enjoy your linear decks, as it does enjoy you to make you think a little bit, but you can be linear if you want. So let's dig into the list, talk about what the cards do, and then jump on the ladder to see how we do. So first, let's talk about the main star of the list, which is Mega Diancie EX. Mega Diancie EX is a 270 HP basic Mega Pokemon, Psychic typing, with the ability Diamond Coat. This Pokemon takes 30 less damage from attacks, after weakness and resistance. So, it's very interesting. It's weak to Metal, so not very relevant typing right now. And it has the attack Garland Ray for 2 Psychic Energy, does 120, and discard up to 2 energy from this Pokemon, does 120 for every card you discard. So you're either doing 120 or 240, that's it. Well, that doesn't sound like it does enough, and depending on the matchup, it doesn't. But, we are running Dusclops and Dusknoir in the line. We're running that as a 3-2-2 line with some 2 rare candies. So we could fix that 120 to something else, that 240 to something else, and get KOs without having to overextend our attackers. Because if we need to hit 180, well, we can pop a Dusknoir, 1 energy to discard, and then we can have Diancie be usable for the next turn. So there's some pieces there that can really be fun to play with. Now, it's not Dusclops and Dusknoir are not the only ghosts we run. We do run a 1-1 line of this Cofagrigus. So Cofagrigus is from the black and white set, and it has this attack Extended Dramulus. And you move all damage counters from one of your bench Pokemon to one of your opponent's Pokemon. It doesn't have to be the active. So if your Diancies take some damage, move them onto the bench, obviously, so you can attack with the Cofagrigus, and you can move all that damage off the Diancie onto one of your opponent's Pokemon and get a KO at it. So that's where a lot of fun synergy comes into play with this archetype. Along with that, you are running 2 Lillie's Clefairy. This helps with Dragon Ball matchup. We are running 1 Latias EX to kind of allow us to pivot around and move around between our basics. And the other support Pokemon, we are running 1 Maractus, 1 Fezandipiti, and 1 Meowth EX. So, very standard support Pokemon. The Maractus makes sense here because it helps us set up damage. The corner allows us to kind of keep something in the active we want in the active for an extra turn. The Exploding Needles punishes our opponent for knocking out the Maractus. So, very interesting, but also very logical tech in this deck. Now, in terms of search, we are running 3 Ultra Ball and 3 Telepathic Energy. Yes, Telepathic Energy is a search card in this deck because we are all Psychic Pokemon except for the 3 support. So we're able to use Telepathic Energy to set up our board the way we want to, along with our Ultra Ball and our Poké Pad. So that's how we kind of look for things. We have the Night Stretchers for recovery, for energy, and for Pokemon, especially because we are using the Dusclops Dusknoir line. We might want to get an evolution back into our hand in order to pop another one. Our stadium of choice is Mystery Garden. It allows us to discard a Psychic Energy and draw in until we have the same number of Psychic Pokemon in play, cards in hand. Very standard. And in terms of the supporter line, we are running 4 Lillie, 3 Boss, and then 1 Carmine, so we can use the supporter going first. 1 Jacinthe, which allows us to heal, ideally, the Mega Diancie to kind of be more bulky, and then 1 Judge for disruption. So, the Lillie and Boss, very standard supporters. The other 3 are one of those. I think one of Carmine is becoming the new thing, because you can give the Meowth. It's always a great going first to be able to support her. So, I think Carmine's going to be more and more popular in decks going forward, honestly. Now, our ace spec of choice is Unfair Stamp. It makes sense. We're a bulky deck. We do take some knockouts from attacks. So we definitely want to punish our opponent when they do so, especially if they knock out a Diancie, get 3 prizes. We can Unfair Stamp all those cards back into the deck and have them only draw 2. So that's the deck list. You see it on the screen. It's going to be in the description of the video. So we're going to go jump into some matches. But before we do, just want to make sure you guys have you guys subscribed to the channel yet? YouTube analytics tell me more than 3/4 of you guys have not subscribed to the channel. You guys pop in, you love our videos, but you don't click that subscribe button. It doesn't cost anything for you. It helps us tremendously. And we honestly want to see this channel grow a little bit more. We just recently eclipsed 200 subs. We want to try to get push for that 250 to 300 number. And we just want to showcase more and more videos every single week. So if you do that for us, that would be greatly appreciated. Now, with all that out of the way, let's jump onto the ladder. Let's see how we do. Okay, time to lead with Maractus. We have a Carmine and a Judge in hand with a Poké Pad, some energy. We are going to get quite a bit of Mogans, and I see fire and fighting, so this makes me feel like this is a Blaziken deck actually. And I was wrong, it's Ceruledge, which is fine. I mean, Ceruledge can one-shot us, so we have to be very careful on what we do. But we can definitely put pressure. But we do have the Maractus in the lead for this first set of turns, so we'll be able to put some damage onto that attacking Ceruledge. And I want to corner it, just again put some more damage on there, but also just to prevent any retreating. I don't think they want to get this Charcadet out. Oh, looks like they're going to do Soul Rock. Which is fine, we're hitting the Soul Rock for some damage. We're going to be keeping it in the active. So we can definitely have some, I wouldn't say not fun, but we can definitely have some plays here. I don't think the Cofagrigus is going to be something that makes sense in this matchup here. Purely because we're going to Judge. They're going to be trying to one-shot us, so they're not going to be leaving much on the board. So we'll corner this Soul Rock. If he tries to hit into us, we basically set ourselves up for a KO, not a return KO, but just a KO because of the exploding needles. Which I'll take a very easy early prize in this. It helps us set up a little bit. We have the Telepathic. So if we get a good draw, I would love to get a Diancie off the top deck, so we can use the Telepathic onto a Diancie to kind of widen the board a little bit more with another Duskull, maybe some other pieces here and there. But they're really going in. They'll have 5, 6 energy already in the discard. So they're setting up their 2 attackers. We just have to kind of get to a spot where we can put more pressure on those attackers. So they're going to put more cards into the discard pile. Interesting that they just discarded the Poké Pad instead of using it for something. But they're gonna give us an early prize. No, Exploding Needle didn't work? Hold on, what? Oh, it has to be knocked out. Okay, never mind. Whatever. The Soul Rock's still gonna get trapped. I'm not too worried about that. We'll Lillie. I don't really have a good choice for anything I want to put here. But I will grab that Clefairy. We will... So... I'm gonna 1-for-1 this Charcadet to could be a Silo Edge later. Purely because I just want them to have less opportunity to have choices. I know that doesn't really make a lot of sense. I think it makes sense to me, and it makes sense to kind of like how we're kind of setting up this gameplay. So this Solrock's gonna be locked for one more turn. If they don't get an evolution this turn, we could try to pop another Dusknoir and really just start trying to run away from this a little bit. There's another Charcadet. Okay. So, not going to be able to do that as much. But, I mean, I still would like to do the 1-for-1. I think that makes a little more sense to me. If we can get another Dusknoir. Would have to get Rare Candy and a Retro Stretcher, because we just don't have the ability to attack this turn. So he's either going to pass. Nope, he's going to Cosmic Beam, so he's going to get a prize. He's going to get KO'd in return. Okay. So we get a prize, they get a prize. So it's a 4-4 game now. We have a Mystery Garden if we can ever get... We already have Mystery Garden in place. Let's put the Latias in the active. I'd be very shocked if... Okay, they put a Charcadet in the active. And they have Charcadet with the energy too. So... not the greatest. I mean, I'll take the prize, I guess. They're kind of not doing anything with their hand, so I'm just gonna make the assumption that they're struggling to find their Silo Edges, because they can one-shot me very easily. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, they're one-shotting this Clefairy. There it is. Okay. Okay. So, how much damage they do in this turn? Do I feed them a Duskull is the question, right? They're just able to recycle in the pit. We can't just keep a Charcadet in that back end so well. Yeah. Okay. What are they doing? I'm genuinely curious of what they're doing, just because... Oh, they're going to be trying to set up another Silo Edge. I see what they're doing, because they don't need all... They have the damage. They're well over 190. Are they over 300, I guess my question is. They're at 230 right now. So we kind of need to find a Mega Diancie, like, now. There's a Carmine. Oh, but there's a lot of resources we're just going to be getting rid of. I think that might be the play. Much as I don't want to get rid of the other Wondrous Patch, we kind of have to. If I Night Stretcher, what am I going to Night Stretcher back? Really don't have much choice, right? Do I Night Stretcher the Duskull, so I have a Duskull, another Duskull in play? Well, Unfair Stamp. I'm just switch to Duskulls. I know this doesn't sound like it matters, but it makes sense. It makes a little sense here. So we're just gonna put that there. Do I Fezandipiti? No, I don't want to put another 2-prize liability into play, just in case they did get a boss off all that. I'd rather just kind of do that and see what next turn gives me. Because if we get an energy, we can pop the dust. Actually, no, we really can't. Wow, they had off the unfair stamp. They had double cello edge in here. Okay. They're still only doing 230. So but we can't Dusknoir anymore. Last ditch call, I mean, at this point. Let's try to grab as much cards as we can here. Six fresh cards. Just gonna thin deck out with some pieces here. Is the other the Yamask? Yeah, the Yamask is there as well. Just in case, like, maybe they don't, like, I don't know, I'm just trying to play the different outs. I really don't have much. Mystery Garden. We'll just discard one energy, do the 120, and kind of see what we can get, like, kind of run with here. Because my goal is going to be kind of trying to pivot between the Diancies here to see if we can try to live some hits. Because right now they're doing what, 210 to a Mega Diancie. So our Powerglasses are still in the deck. They're hiding somewhere. 220, okay. So I'll put that there for now. Can't really dance any more than I am, so I can just thin the hand down a little bit. It'll be less that goes back in. There's a Powerglass, but honestly, I think it goes to the wrong piece here. I mean, we just go for the prize and see what happens. I mean, as simple as this. Our opponent, if they have a fire energy, they win. If they don't have a fire energy, then they don't. Yeah, I had a feeling. It's just one of those, like, what do I do? We did a good enough job trying to claw back from here. But now they're just gonna pile on. See what they can get. Finally got their blenders, and that's where they get everything. So I'm going to let our opponent kind of move through, kind of top out their damage. But it was more of a struggle, kind of clawing our way into this situation. We kind of missed our early pressure. But even if we would have put the other Diancie up there, that would have been able to pull all that off too. So, I don't know if there's misplays on mine. I kind of didn't play optimally. But the damage reduction definitely made it a little harder for our opponent. But let's jump into another match to see what we do. Okay, so we're going first, leading with Diancie. Having a Duskull in hand, that's great. So let's see what we're facing off against. Joltik box to some degree with a Shinx, so probably has the... I honestly don't even know what it has, but we are going to just put stuff into play, attach, put the Mystery Garden into play, and pass. We have the Dusclops, we have a Judge, we have a Rare Candy just in case we get a Dusknoir. So we're going to see that Joltik charge onto something. I'll be very interested to see if it's the Luxray EX that's a part of this, or it's just the Luxio. But it looks like they are going all in on this, so I'm intrigued to see how this works. Because we can just Dusclops the Joltik away. That way we don't have to worry about using an attack on a 30 HP Mon. And then we can try to get one of these Shinx out of the way. So we're going to put that. We're going to evolve. I want to Judge first before we pop. Got an energy. Got another Duskull. I love this. Is looking really great right now. So we're going to Curse Blast onto the Joltik. Do a 1-for-1 trade on that. And we're going to see what our opponent puts out. They're either going to give us one of those two those Shinx, or they're going to give us that Dynamo. They're going to give us the Dynamo. It is what it is, I guess. So we're just going to discard one energy and take another prize. And it's a basic energy, wonderful. So we're in a semi-good spot here, where we're only really having to discard one energy right now. Okay, what does the ability for Luxio do? It automatically allows it to evolve straight up. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. They are going to do 200, discard energy. Yeah, I think they're going to do the 200 discard energy attack because there's no need for them to do the 70 times. They're only doing 140. So we will get this Luxray out next turn because we're going to have to discard 2 energy, unfortunately. And then from there, honestly, with them only having one card in hand, I'll be more than happy to put that Fezandipiti in play this turn. We'll do that. We'll Wondrous Patch onto the bench Diancie. And I think we'll just take the slow return here. We'll take the prize, knowing our opponent only has one card in hand. We got a Telepathic Psychic, so that's not the worst thing in the world. We could just attach that and get a Yamask and another Duskull to play. There's Lavencia, so they're going to use Lavencia so they can do Jolting Charge to kind of just boost up those Shinx. So we need... Honestly, what we can do is Telepathy here get the Latias, get the free retreat out with the Yamask, and then just put more pressure. And kind of go from there. Rescue Stretcher, Clutch. So let's do exactly that. So we have the free retreat now. We can Rescue Stretcher a Dusclops. Again, take 2 prizes this turn. We'll just bump their stadium. Take the prize. See what this prize is going to be. It's just really weird to say we're 2 for 1-ing with this, right? We're against a single prize deck. We're able to take advantage of the fact that we're able to get what we need this turn. I want to Mystery Garden, since we already have an attack. So let's Mystery Garden and get some more cards in hand. That's actually not awful. So we're going to retreat this. We have cards in hand. We can get some evolution pieces next turn. We're going to Garland Array, and we're only going to discard 1. We're going to discard the basic Psychic, and really just kind of force our opponent to do something next turn. We're down to a single prize. So we got a Lillie, so that's fresh 6. We don't like anything else in her hand past the attachment. So it's not bad. I mean, we're just kind of utilizing the Dusknoir or Dusclops pressure on these low HP Joltics. And they're just trying to put Shinx into play. Part of it is I think we definitely took advantage of the fact that our opponent played themselves to a super small hand size, and being able to take advantage of taking multi-prizes against a single prize deck really flipped this game on its head. So let's just kind of go through some motions. I want to double check. Yeah, we had the Cofagrigus, so we could have done something with it. But we'll just evolve. We'll attach, attack, and end the match. No need to kind of go through all the extra motions. I just wanted to see if the Cofagrigus was in the deck. It was. So we'll just discard 1 energy. Take the win. And that is pretty much how this deck needs to run. You just kind of absorb some hit, you put some pressure in, and you just kind of do what you need to do. I wish we were able to showcase the Cofagrigus a little more in this match, but it is what it is. So that is Mega Diancie Ghosts. It's a really fun archetype. It utilizes the bulk of a Mega Diancie 3 prizer that has a damage reduction ability. It allows you to take some cheap prizes or damage manipulation with the Dusclops, Dusknoir line to kind of just move some math around. And then you have the Cofagrigus. Whenever you take a whole bunch of damage on that Diancie, you just push it over to your opponent and get some prizes out of it. It's a really fun deck. It's not the most consistent for sure, but I love the idea of it. I found this, like I said in the intro, I found it on an online list that did pretty well. I'm like, let's look into it. And I'm having a blast playing with it. It's a different type of archetype, different type of deck structure, but that's the beauty of this, right? Is we get to showcase a whole bunch of really fun ideas that they're not going to be day 2ing regionals by any means, but they're fun to play online on the ladder for sure. So with that being said, guys, thank you so much for making this far into the video. If you haven't done so, make sure you check to see if you subscribe to the channel, and if you can, like the video, let us know that you love these different types of archetypes. And with that being said, guys, I'm gonna bounce. I'll see you guys, and as always, have fun playing those sneaky decks.